The song I'm about to perform is Not Crying Today, which is the title track of the CD that I released last year. And one day a friend of mine called me and she asked me how I was doing, and it was a really hard time in my life. And I told her, today I'm doing okay. I'm actually not crying today. So I thought, that sounds interesting. So I just started writing that song down and everything I was feeling, because I was feeling a lot better about my life and where it was heading. And I had been kind of down in the dumps, but it was coming around. So I wrote about that, and that's what that song is about.
This morning with a different feeling. My heart is now in a different place. Looked in the mirror, saw a new reflection, and I got a big smile on my face. And it told me nothing what people said, 'cause I can stand tall and hold on my head. If I take one step now, the other foot will follow. I know I can after all my sorrow.
Well, how I got into music is I was born with it, and my whole family, they're all musicians. My dad was a band director and a piano player and teacher, piano teacher. his dad was a piano teacher and singer. My dad has a beautiful voice, and he sings for weddings and everything. And my brother's a singer, my sister's a singer. My mom was a choir teacher, and my stepfather is also a musician. So I just grew up around music my entire life. That was just part of my life. That's part of who I am. So yeah, I got started when I was born, I guess. One of the things that I can remember that was the most significant there have been many times that I've had wonderful things happen to me when I'm performing, but one in particular was when I was on the show Troubadour, Texas. And the way that it happened was it was kind of crazy, because I had a day job and I sang the national anthem for our conferences, and I was dressed in a suit at a hotel to sing the national anthem. And across the way was the Troubadour, Texas tryouts, which I didn't even know anything about. And I saw a friend of mine walk in with a guitar, and I said, "What are you doing here?" So we talked, and she said, "Well, I'm here for the audition. Are you here for the audition?" And I said, "What audition?" So I walked in, and I signed up on the paper, and I was wearing a suit, and the lady behind the counter said, "Oh, you brought a fan with you," because she didn't think that I was there to play music, because I didn't look like a musician. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that looks like. But we walked in, and one of the producers got on the stage and said, and I went ahead and signed up. I had no time to change. I had no time to go get into my clothes or anything and look like a musician, whatever that means. So I walked in and sat down, and I borrowed her guitar, and I waited for my name to be called. And one of the producers got up and on the stage and said, he said, "Well, I know how hard it is and how much you struggle, because you're musicians and sometimes you don't make a lot of money, and it's very difficult." And he said, "But at least you're living your dream, and at least you're not one of those people." And he pointed to my conference where I just came from. So when I got up on the stage in my suit, I said, "Yeah, I'm one of those people. And just because I have a day job, it doesn't mean that I'm not a musician as well. You know, I have to pay my rent." So, and then I sang my song, and then they ended up following me, and they came to my show that night, and they ended up coming to the show, and they filmed me, and they interviewed me, and they came to my job the next day, and it was hilarious, and they put me on TV. So I had a little bit of fame there for 15 minutes.